I'm Dr. Justin Baker, one part of the whole team here at Trinity Sports Medicine Performance Center. We're very excited to offer you specialized and unique options for both your orthopedic injuries and wellness treatment.
If you're hurt, go see Dr. Baker at Trinity Sports Medicine.
When you're injured, you need a team of professionals who can get you back to your game. At Trinity Sports Medicine and Performance Center, Dr. Scarpone, Snell, and Orlowski are committed to treating you effectively so you can return quickly and safely back to the activities you enjoy. Trinity Sports Medicine.
How have you not seen the movie Sneakers? You're a movie guy.
But is it old? How old is it?
It doesn't matter. It's a good movie.
What? How old is it?
I don't know. Guessing 15 years old, maybe?
So 90s.
Yeah, in that vicinity.
2000s. Sneakers.
Robert Redford.
The Natural.
God, you're a mess. Hey, welcome to week 3 of the high school football season.
Are you even awake?
Dude, not a chance. And it's only Wednesday. Podcast 2, week 3. Mike Mathison, Matthew Peaslee. Guess whose birthday it is today? You know whose birthday it is today?
I don't.
Happy Gilmore. Well, actually, Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Well, Gilmore Happy.
Yeah, great movie. Shooter McGavin.
Grizzly Adams had a beard. Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
What?
Happy says to Shooter something like, I'm going to beat you. And he says, yeah, right. And Grizzly Adams had a beard. Then Lee Trevino, who I know who that is, comes out and says Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Okay. Nice. So obviously you've seen Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought.
Friends listen to Endless Love in the Dark.
There you go. God, we're a mess. Week 3 high school football season. DC St. John's and Steubenville Big Red. Steubenville Big Red, impressive win last week, 37-18 over Clinton Massey. What I found most impressive, though, they gained 500 yards of total offense against a really good football team. And now DC St. John's comes in, and it's not your normal DC team. This is with a lot of talent, very fast, that will challenge Big Red in a whole different way than Massey did.
They're huge. This DC St. John's team, the linemen are huge, the athletes are fast. They have a couple D1 prospects. Their quarterback will be at Marshall next year.
Okay.
They're 2-0. They played the team from Florida, and they played another team from the Maryland area and beat them up pretty good. But obviously, with Big Red coming off a very impressive win with great passing, nice rushing yards. Charles Reeves had a lot of nice catches, and it's going to be another good one at Harding, for sure.
I just 500 yards of offense, because Clinton Massey can obviously play.
Yeah.
But that's just...
And they shut them down in the second half when they needed to.
No, it's rest in the third quarter.
Yeah.
It was 18-18, and they scored the last, 19 points?
Right.
19 points.
Win by 2 scores.
Yeah, it's impressive win by Steubenville Big Red. Just really impressive win. Oak Glen, winless Oak Glen goes to Indian Creek, who was 2-0. Indian Creek 2-0, and hasn't allowed a point yet in 8 quarters. That's pretty impressive, regardless of who you're playing.
2 shutouts, and last week against East Liverpool, they forced 3 fumbles, recovered 3 fumbles. So the defense is playing lights out. They're going to be tested this week because one of the hottest rushers in the Ohio Valley, and Dakota Price, comes in.
What do you have, 295?
295 in a shootout against Catholic Central. So it's going to be a challenge for the Indian Creek defense, and if they could shut him down, they'll have a good chance of winning the game, because they're doing well on offense too with their 3-quarterback system, a lot of weapons in Wade, Taylor, and Mazer. They spread the ball out different ways with them. So it's 2 good offenses going at each other, but I think Creek has the edge with their strong defense.
Yeah, I agree with you. Also on Bel Air goes to Harrison Central. Harrison with a nice win last week over Weir, 42-18. Travis Stinson was a man, had 250 whatever yards rushing, had another 140 yards catching.
Yeah.
I think he had 247 for 3 touchdowns, 140 receiving for another touchdown. And Harrison Central had a very, very, very nice win, impressive win last week at Harrison. They're playing, or at Weir. They're playing Bel Air. Bel Air, I think, has a hard time scoring, but their defense is pretty solid.
Yeah.
But man, Harrison Central's good.
Bel Air's 0-2, should be a win for Harrison. Give the ball to Stenson again, whether it's through the air or on the ground, and he'll get the job done.
Well, they've done a nice job. They've moved Brandon Mitchell to quarterback on a full-time basis. Zach Arbogast is now split. And Jesse Ball, who was a stud fullback, is now a tight end.
Big guy.
And, man, they could just open up some holes.
Yeah, and that's what Stenson says. Is the offensive line's great for them, and once Stenson's out in the open field, he's gone.
He was hard to catch. Absolutely hard to catch. Very impressive. Sebring McKinley from the ITCL, they go to Toronto Friday night, Toronto at 7 o'clock. You watched Toronto play last week, pretty much handled Bridgeport without a whole lot of issues.
Yeah, back-to-back weeks I got to see them, and again, the offense did well. Whether they have Blaine Rawson or Blaze Glen at quarterback, they're
throwing the ball to some guy named Ty West.
Yeah, great receiver, and once he gets the ball, he's gone. But the defense is really what impressed me. They had at least 12 tackles for a loss against Bridgeport, a couple sacks in there. Cody King and Justin Starkey are two great defensive ends, and they'll be able to shut down Sebring, I believe. And
you got Drew Lowry getting done, the fullback, doing the dirty work, and
they hand the ball to different guys. It's not just
two people doing this.
Danny Zadinek gets a lot of carries, and even at the end there, they give the ball to Thomas Fordham and Roach, who did pretty well in cleanup time in the fourth quarter. So
Coach Meek's done a wonderful job.
Nice stable of backs.
Getting that program going.
Yep. Look for them to be 3-0.
Yeah, Buckeye Local goes to Edison. Both teams 0-2. Someone's got to get the W.
Yeah.
Somebody.
They're both hungry, I'm sure, for this first win.
And Edison, it was 7-0 against Carrollton for a long time last week. So
the defense held them in until the fourth quarter.
Start of the fourth quarter.
So they're off. Both teams' offenses needs to get rolling. They both run the ball a lot. The first game, Joey Nave had a great game throwing the ball. Edison's first game against East Liverpool last week, the passing game was shut down a little bit. So whatever team scores first, I think will go the rest of the way.
Wow. Look at that bold prediction.
Whoever scores first.
Yep. Right. University is at Brooke. University is a relatively young team. Brooke's 0-2 in both games. Obviously, it was 7-7 down in Morgantown last week, and Morgantown scored 20 in the third. Obviously, Brooke has a lot of weapons. You're still trying to figure it out. I look for Brooke to get off the schneid this week and pick up a W because I just think they're better than University. I think Thomas Cole has 18 catches in 2 games. They got Justin Lawfrey and Alex Edgel and some guy named Nathan Green.
Big guys.
Yeah, Cody Hudson's done a nice job at quarterback. I think Brooke takes care of business.
University's 0-2 also, so they're going to be looking for that one. They lost to John Marshall and they lost to Parkersburg South. So, but yeah, like you said, I think Brooke's got the athletes. They were in their first 2 games, obviously.
Exactly.
They had a great chance to win both of them, so this is the week for them to give it to Cole, let Hudson do his thing, and they'll win.
I think so. Saturday night, there's 2 games. Wheeling Central goes to Madonna at Jimmy Carey Stadium, 7 o'clock Saturday night. Obviously, Madonna's had a tough start, losing to Bishop Donahue, then losing to Tuskegee Central Catholic. Both times, most of the damage was done. All the damage was done in the second half by both Donahue and TCC. Not a tall task in front of the Dons this week.
Yeah, because Wheeling Central is one of the better smaller school teams from the area.
They're 2-0.
Yeah, and if Madonna can hang with them for 4 quarters, they obviously stand a chance. They just need to not get tired.
Can't turn the ball. You
can't turn the ball over.
You can't turn the ball over.
No, man. But that's hard. It's hard to play mistake-free football against good teams too.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to.
All right, and the last game we have is Saturday night at Harding Stadium. A very interesting matchup. Weir High at 1-1 and Steubenville Catholic Central 1-1. 8 o'clock start. 8 o'clock kickoff. Saturday night at Harding.
That's past your bedtime.
Yeah, it's way past my bedtime. At least I'm not up till 2 in the morning watching Cat Dog. Because baggage wasn't on.
You're right. That's exactly right.
Seriously. Oh, man. I'm watching Criminal Minds. He's watching Cat Dog and Baggage. Although we were watching Family Feud with Steve Harvey, which is relatively hilarious.
Steve Harvey is great.
I
was watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire today, too, and Terry Crews is a pretty good host on that, too.
Does a nice job.
We need to have a game show Star Sportscast.
Really?
Star Gamecast.
The Star Gamecast. McElwain, get on that, will you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right away. Let's see. Weir's coming off a 42-18 loss. Jake Whipsack, their starting quarterback, did not play. Had a death in the family. I still think Harrison wins the game anyway because they were that much better. Sure. But obviously, Jake brings a different type of everything to Weir High, that what they didn't have last week. Steubenville Catholic Central scored 56 against Oak Glen. Tony Barber threw for 284 and 4 touchdowns. They ran the ball very well. Seth Potenzini had like 168 yards of receiving. John Fallon caught a pass, returned a punt. This could be a good old-fashioned shootout.
Like Central was in last week. I think it's going to be neck and neck the whole way.
I agree with you.
So, yeah, it's a toss-up at this point, I think, because obviously Weir wants to prove that they're better than the big loss to Harrison, and Central's riding high coming off what they did last week. So, very interesting. Like you said, it'll be a shootout. Over-under 84.
Well, I think both teams have a point to prove to themselves and to each other. Yeah, because that's not the same Weir High team. Obviously, when you graduate kids and all that fun sort of stuff, and I think they expect a little bit better out of themselves last week. I think Steubenville Central expected. I think Steubenville Central, when they got down 26-21 to Wheeling Central the week before, shot themselves in the foot a couple times. Otherwise, they think they could be 2-0.
Right.
And I'm not saying Weir would have beaten Harrison Central, but if Weir shores up some things and I think tackles a little bit better, this could be just who has the ball last wins. Yeah, it could be.
Weir's experience too. Obviously, the senior class. Somebody did a really nice story on the senior class.
Oh yeah, some moron.
And but so when they were younger, they probably that Weir team might have folded up after a tough loss like that early in the season, and it affects them the rest of the year. But I think now that since they have such a large experienced senior class, they see that loss. They don't want to experience that loss again, and they respond and come back from it early on.
I'm guessing this is a week in practice where not only did coaches challenge kids, but kids challenge themselves and kids challenge their teammates. And, because both teams have high expectations.
Right.
Brooke, Weir really wants to make the playoffs again and obviously host a playoff game. And Steubenville Central wants to get back to the playoffs.
Yep. Two tradition-rich programs who I'm sure it'll be a packed house there on Saturday night.
Yeah, it'd be really, really fun to watch. And you're at where are you at? Oh, you're at Oakland and Indian Creek.
So I'm excited for that one.
It's because you're going to get fat in the press box.
Probably, likely. Meatballs. I hope pasta of some sort. Maybe a meat rolls. Yeah.
Cookies,
Coke Zeros.
Yeah. Coke Zeros.
I slugged those down.
It's all about the food,
like Coca-Cola.
So you also have a dedication at Indian Creek. They're going to call it the Lester Carney track, something along those lines. Silver medalist. And then the winners' old team of 50 years ago, undefeated.
Still being honored.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice night at Indian Creek. There's no doubt about it. And here at Edison, they're honoring honoring a team from 50 years ago. Then it wasn't Edison back then. I couldn't tell you who it was back then. But they're going to do that at the high school, so it should be a pretty interesting weekend. And it's homecoming at Steubenville Big Red.
A lot of people coming back for that one. 75th anniversary of Big Red and all that.
Wasn't Jefferson Union back then?
I don't know. I don't know if it was Stanton High School or Springfield High School. You know what I mean?
Jefferson Union, was it?
50 years ago?
Yeah.
I think it would be Stanton High School and Springfield High School and whatever. But that was long before. I was not in this area, and I was still playgrounding, man.
Surfing in San Diego?
I didn't surf.
Don't you have to surf?
It's not a law. Mm. See, on the East Coast, it is a law that once you get older, you got to move to Florida. That's a law. There's no law in California saying you have to love the ocean. There's no law that says that.
Well, you're basically just Spicoli's older brother.
Oh, I just did. So tasty ways and all sad. See you next week. Bye.
Go surfing.
Surfing Safari.
Surfing USA.
Good tune. By
better than Sneakers.
Sneakers is a good movie.
I never heard of it.
I'm telling you, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
Nice.
I didn't watch Cat Dog. I saw Cat Dog go off for Hey Arnold to come on.
Oh,
but I had to change.
Excuse me.
It was a sad Hey Arnold episode, which I had to change. Yeah.
There was a sad Hey Arnold. There was never a sad Bugs Bunny. There was never a sad Cody. Acme always came through, and he just didn't know what to do with all the Acme stuff.